In this video, we will see how to create functions which will take only positional arguments or only keyword arguments, or how to create functions that accept both the arguments. So like that, we will see that, right? So the first thing, how to create positional arguments function, right? So in last video, we have already seen what is positional arguments and what is keyword arguments. And in this video, we will see how to create that kind of functions. So the first function I'm writing as def, and I'm writing, let's say, add numbers. So I'm writing add numbers. So here I'm creating a parameter, something like numbers. So this is my parameter, right? So, and before starting the parameter, I will create star. So the meaning of this one is, okay, any number of positional argument can be passed to this function, right? So what is the meaning of positional arguments? Arbitrary arguments are positional arguments. So here I have given star means any number of positional arguments, right? So now I'll just print this numbers thing, and mouse over on it. What this is saying, so this is numbers, and this can be this numbers is tuple, right? Okay, you can see that. Okay, now, so I'm going to call this add numbers. So now I'm passing with multiple values, right? 30, 40, something like that. So all these numbers gets executed here, right? So you can even write a for loop for I in numbers, and you can write addition of each and every number. So here I'll take some result is equals to 0, and then result is equals to, result plus numbers of, or sorry, this is anyway we are giving it I. So now what the final result is going to be, I'll print that res, that's it. So now what will happen, it is going to add all the numbers 40, 30, 70, 30, 100, and we should print 100 at the end, right? So it is printing 100. So here we have written a function that will accept any number of positional arguments, right? So you can give one more argument, there is no problem, that will get added over there, and then you can execute with it. So now if we wanted to pass an array to this, so what will happen? Sorry, a list to this. Let's say I'm creating a list, and I will say some 1, 2, 3, right? And I wanted to pass this list, right, comma lst. What will happen? So this is the problem, that list also will be going as inside of that, and it shows it's not possible, no, I cannot take it. That's what it's saying, right? So how to pass a list, right? In this kind of situation, how to pass a list? You need to use star here. If you use star, the list gets spreaded and then goes into that, and it will automatically execute, right? So it will spread, right? It will spread. So it is passing over there, right? See that it passed. Got it. Otherwise we'll call only that list, so that we can easily understand. I'm calling only that list, and see that what will happen. Yes, that's it. Oh, what happened? Oh, I need to use star. So whenever you wanted to pass the a list to these kind of parameters, you need to add star before that list, right? Remember this, right? So next one. So this is how you can able to create a function which will accept positional, any number of positional arguments. So that's what I mentioned. Okay, accept positional arguments. So now let's say if you wanted to create a function that accept any number of keyword arguments, how are we going to do it? Okay, def and print user data. Let's say print user data. Okay, I'm giving it. So here I wanted to create a function which will accept keyword arguments. So for that you have to use star, right? So star, I'm giving some user data kind of thing, and I'll print that user data, right? So now let's see how to call this function. So once you call it, and you need to pass any number of positional arguments, that's what is important, right? So here I have to do like this, and I need to specify name is equals to, right? I'm giving some here, right? And I'll specify password. So you can write any kind of positional arguments, no issue at all, right? Sorry, you have to use equals to. I'll specify SDF like that. So now what we have done, we have created two positional arguments. So remember, this is not dictionary. This is just positional argument. Like that, you can write any number of positional arguments. Inside of this becomes a dictionary. Inside of this becomes a dictionary, right? You can see that this is becoming a dictionary, right? So let's say if you wanted to pass a dictionary in that case, similar to list, and if you wanted to pass a dictionary, so let's assume that I'm storing this inside of some dictionary, some user data is equals to, I will specify, and I wanted to create all these things inside of dictionary. So to create that, what we have to do, we need to create this as like this, and then specify, and comma, and we need to specify like this, and then like this, right? Okay, now this is a dictionary. How to call this with some dictionary, right? So now I will change the name as well for our convenience. We wanted to know that whether this is passed or not, right? Yeah. So print users data of user data. So if you directly pass it, then definitely we are going to get an error, right? So what it says, so this is taking positional argument, but you are passing this one. Okay, like that, it is giving some error. So let's say I'm passing only UD, right? So UD means that becomes keyword data, right? So, but what is the data I'm passing? Okay, it is taking like UD inside of dictionary, like that. It is taking it. So, but not passing as, this is some different data, this is some different data. No, it is not taking it. So if you wanted to pass like that, then you have to use star star. So if you do that, then it will take in this way. See this? So different parameters, right? So you can even check by printing only the name, right? So UD of UD square bracket, within that I'll give a name. Now let's execute. First time it should print Sudhakar. Next time it should print Balu. Right? First time it is printing Sudhakar, and next time it is printing Balu, like this. So this is how you can create something which will accept only positional arguments, only keyword arguments. And let's say if you wanted to have restriction. So what is the meaning of restriction? Before, what we did was we created a login method. So let me copy this one, right? We created a login method, and then we created keyword argument or positional argument, something like that, right? So here this is normal argument, so normal parameter. So if it is normal parameter, we can pass positional or uh, keyword. Both the things we can pass, right? So we can do both. So there is no problem at all. But the rule is, once you started passing keyword arguments, you must continue with passing keyword args. So that's the rule, right? And we have a feature that right, we can restrict. No, in this at this place I wanted to have a positional argument. In other place I wanted to have a keyword argument, something like that. If you wanted to have that kind of restriction, then right, you have to use slash, right, slash and star, right? So slash represents positional arguments, star represents keyword arguments. So how are we going to use positional as well as keyword arguments here? So here I am saying that slash, and here I will give, right, here I will give, right, okay, after writing password, I will start with star. Okay, let's say what will happen in this case, right? So in this case, what will happen? Are we going to see any kind of errors in these two places? Okay, right? In 27th line, are we going to see any kind of errors? Let us see this one. And we got an error at 27th line. What it's saying, takes one positional argument, but two are given. What is the meaning of this one is, before this one, if you have anything that becomes, before this one, if you have anything that becomes positional arguments, that becomes positional arguments. So now if you specify username, password, and then if you specify username, password, and then the end, I will specify slash. So I must specify only positional arguments. Okay, let me show you. So it works, login with admin and QR. So let us try to give anything as, anything as either username or password as keyword args, right? Keyword args, and see whether it works or not, right? So it shows an error saying that no, okay, it's only positional arguments. So we are forcing it to have only positional arguments. So you specify arguments. After that, if you use slash, after that comma slash, means all the arguments before that, whatever you have, those are all becomes positional arguments. Those are all becomes positional arguments. And if you have star, let's say I'm specifying here star, right? So star, so before arguments, if you specify star, after that, whatever the arguments you have, those will become keyword arguments. So here I must make sure that this is also keyword arguments, right? So this you have to remember. So compulsory, this you have to remember this one, right? So here login app using admin and keyword. If you specify, positional argument, you'll get an error. So now just see this one. So here I specified this one, and then here I specified this one. What will happen, right? This is completely, I'm clearly confusing Python, and it clearly says that it is syntax error, right? So this is what you have to remember. So you have to give positional arguments in the beginning, and then later you can give keyword arguments. Let's say here I specify slash, and here I'll specify star comma. So before slash, whatever you have, those are all become positional arguments, and after star, whatever you have, those are all becomes keyword arguments. So if you have any other parameter here, something like p1, so this will accept positional as well as keyword, both the things. So one thing you have to remember, uh, when you create like this, make sure you are following the same order while passing the values, right? Right. If they are completely positional, no issue. If they are completely keyword, no issue. But if you have combination, make sure you follow the same order. Okay, first I need to give value for username. So username is a positional argument. So you should not specify this. So next you have p1. It can be anything. It can be positional, or it can be it can be anything, right? So you can give any value. And next one, it is, we have used this one, so this is going to be keyword arguments. After this, whatever you have, those are all keyword arguments. So like that. So now let us execute. It should work without having any issue, right? It is worked. It works, right? It works. So now here, let us change this to p1. Okay, let's see what will happen, right? Whether it works or not. Okay, let's see. So I told you that is normal argument. Normal arguments you can pass either positional or keyword. Okay, anything is okay, right? So this is what you have to remember, and this is the latest change. And this change is there before, but this is the latest change. Remember that, right? So you have slash and you have star. So this represents positional arguments. Before that, whatever you have, those are all becomes positional arguments. After star, whatever you have, those are all becomes keyword arguments. So this is how you can restrict a function to accept only keyword args, only positional args, or both, or in a specific order. Like that, you can have it, right? So any doubts? Keep it in comments. Thank you for watching.